So, is this disaster or is this necessary? Let's talk today about the Buffalo Sabres because we had ourselves a segment made by Darren Dreger on MSG Sports going over the latest with Patrick Kane and the entire conversation surrounding him and his potential return. Now, the thing is, this tweet that we're looking at was posted by Sabres Live, which is very obviously a Sabres-based Twitter account, and if you wanted the update as to what's going on with Patrick Kane, local boy, Buffalo fan growing up, and somebody who has been linked to the Sabres alongside of the other teams, the Rangers, the Leafs, etc., 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 the thing is, what Darren Dreger essentially says in this video clip, which I'm not going to play for you right here because it is copyrighted material, Dreger essentially says that Patrick Kane will most likely be less inclined to sign with the Buffalo Sabres because of the injury sustained to one Tage Thompson. Now, if you hadn't seen, Thompson in the game against the Boston Bruins ended up getting hurt. It was pretty bad. He actually got hurt twice in this game against the Bruins. Came back after the first issue, wherein he got cut in the first period on the trip by McAvoy. He then came back, he played a little bit later, he blocked a shot, and that is what's going to keep him out long term. Don Granato is saying here that Tage will likely miss significant time. And the quote goes out there and says that Tage is going to miss some time here, probably some significant time, unfortunately. He fought through the first injury, he couldn't fight through the second one. So imagine that, eh? Getting cut up on a trip and then getting sent back out there in a 4-0 game just to get hurt again. And according to WGR 550, Don Granato says Thompson could be out for a few weeks to a little over a month. So that is pretty tough to see. Definitely not the outcome you would want to see for one of the best players on the Buffalo Sabres, a literal 100-point scorer. And the idea double whammy comes out here when you acknowledge that Patrick Kane might be less inclined to sign with the Buffalo Sabres because of that Tage Thompson injury. Now, we do know that Kane has been a commodity the past little while. He has been a very valuable NHL player. 12 points, 19 games in his Rangers stint, under a point per game in the postseason, and of course, the 92-point year last season, or in 2021-2022, excuse me, with the Chicago Blackhawks. The thing is, if you talk about Patrick Kane and what made him so successful as a member of those Hawks teams, his production declined when Alex DeBrincat left. He was always a point-per-game, over-point-per-game guy, the past few years when Alex DeBrincat was doing his thing. The year DeBrincat gets sent away, that is when Kane's production declines, 45 points in 54 games played, and if Patrick Kane is really trying to place an emphasis on wanting to play with that top-tier goal scorer, then okay, I could understand why Tage Thompson is the guy he wants to be with. It's just, there are some other players on this Buffalo team that have shown off really well and who can produce pretty significant goal rates, and I don't necessarily think that Tage Thompson should be considered the be-all and end-all, but, I mean, of course, he's pretty much the best player on the team, so I could understand why the Kane situation would be impacted there. But just take a look at it like this. There are two other 6+ goal scorers on the Sabres right now in JJ Peterka and Jeff Skinner. Both of these guys have been very good the past little while. Tage Thompson, I don't think, is necessarily the be-all and end-all in terms of Sabres success, but it is kind of interesting to me how Patrick Kane's one decision here would be deterred so much by the absence of one guy. You could debate, hey, if Kane just plays with Casey Mittelstadt, that's pretty good already. Like, these two guys could be pretty good playmakers if you play them with the right wing, like, let's say a Tuck or a Peterka or whatever. Like, that could be a pretty good pairing, not gonna lie. So I definitely do think there still would be options for Kane to succeed in Buffalo without Tage Thompson on the center position, but of course, I mean, if he's gonna be completely deterred by just one guy leaving, then okay, be my guest, Patrick Kane. So at the end of the day, this is the update that I wanted to provide in this video, how Patrick Kane is apparently not going to go over to Buffalo because Tage Thompson is not going to be healthy. It's a double whammy, monkey's paw situation right here. I know a lot of y'all Sabres fans would pretty much say in the comments that you didn't want Kane to sign anyway, but if that was the case, is this what you wanted to see happen in order for that outcome to be reached? Would you have wanted to see a Tage Thompson injury go out there and deter the Kane sweepstakes from returning home? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99 and bye.